All right, 20 years ago today. How the hell is it 20 years later? It was a beautiful summer day just like this. June 23rd, 2006. I decided to upload a music video I had made for the last EP of a song that I enjoyed. And I had this cool little idea. And if you go back in my first video, you see it. It's kind of cool. It blurs and pixelates. Not thrilled about the name, but it is what it was. This was the tail end of that being kind of okay to say. It never really was okay to say, was it? But nonetheless, I cannot believe I've been on this platform for 20 years now. It doesn't even feel like it. I was living in Seattle at the time. Soon after this actually did become like early Pink Godzilla content. They never made their own channel for it. I offered, but they just were like, no, put it on your own. It's yours. It's your stuff. The original owners back then. It is what it was. But you can definitely see I'm from a different era of YouTube. I wasn't about likes or subscribes. You just put up stuff. It was a place to put your videos. That's kind of how I viewed it. I definitely enjoyed, putting up little goofy videos I'd made, little other goofy music videos, ones I've delisted because I'm just like, a little creeper. I'm not a big fan of the North Face jackets one I did. But I see where I was coming from at the time with it. But it's not my favorite content. But I'm definitely looking forward to a new future with it because I was using this platform for my burlesque to put up performances once in a while. I can only imagine if I would have maintained a regular schedule, but that would have required some, how do I put it, consistency, stability in my life, which I just frankly haven't had until the last couple of years. I've survived a pandemic. That was interesting. I bartended for a year, went to New York for a while. To visit my family when they were still back in Queens 10 years ago. That was kind of cool. I have footage of that. These are projects I still have in the burner. I was literally making episodes for the New York thing. And I just never bothered to upload them, never bothered to finish them. Editing's a pain in the ass. Those of you who know who don't have a team, this is a pain in the ass. So I think going forward, like I was saying, I really think I do want to do more content here. But I think it's just going to be just what we're doing here. Just me shooting the breeze with you. I've got this new thing I mentioned in the last video, the fish sphere video that I was doing my predictions, which I got 4 out of 5 right. Only missed Turtle in the Clouds. Not bad. But I got to hear a lot of songs I loved, like Punch You in the Eye and all that. And got my possum fish shirt from New Year's this year. That's pretty sweet. I like how their tails. Pretty cool. So I'm very excited for the future of this. I mean, I've even had Turkish Star Wars years ago. I put up this another video kind of idea I had. This was after the Noise Band had done. I kind of did a solo project and did an origin story, and I borrowed their video, and they had this whole copyright claim thing. Yeah, I remember I used to be able to upload stuff without copyright claims and music claims. So some of my earlier stuff, I was able to get away with some really cool stuff. Nowadays, you just can't do that. It's after 20 years of doing this kind of stuff, it's definitely a you should know better. What are you thinking? What do you think he's going to get away with this? I'm just really excited that this is still a thing. I out of all the social media platforms, I've watched MySpace come and go. Facebook, I was reluctant to join Facebook because I was like, man, we already got all these people on MySpace. Why do I need to start another one? And then for that brief minute, remember Ello? Yeah, ELLO. It was going to be typed out, looked like typewriter paper font, no pictures, no graphics. Whatever happened to that? Anyone? I'm sure there's something. But yeah, at this point on, I'm definitely going to just start doing these kind of just casual shooting the shit videos. I'm not going to try to fix history. I'm not trying to tell you the history. There's plenty of people that do better editing and do all that kind of stuff. This is just going to be kind of, you go to a buddy's house. We all have that friend who has all the things we've never heard of, to kind of hip us to the cool shit. That's kind of what I want to do. Just kind of be the guy who's hey, check it out. I got this. Da, 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 da. I'm not going to say, oh, that's all my videos. It's just me going da, 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 with an item. It'll literally be me just kind of explaining my experiences with it, like, oh yeah, I picked this up when I was in junior high. You know, I enjoy this because I need to stop doing. Again, no editing, not fun, but it's been pretty fun. I do want to bring this back in like a more casual, because I have rebranded the channel from Uncle Bling to Smoke Break with Huck. I go by Huck a lot more than I do Brandon. It just is what it is. You know, there was a lot of Brandons there for a while at these places I worked or places I would be around. So just instead of Brandon H, Brandon B, Brandon C, I just became Huck, especially the last decade or so. I ran a rock band event there for a while, for about 5 years. I always wanted to do something more with it. If you go back with my content, you can see, I think occasionally, like once or twice, I was able to get a live stream kind of snuck in on a Friday or Saturday night with the customers, but I never really wanted it to be something that they knew I was doing. It really wasn't the focus. The focus really was a private thing, because we do live in such a everything's on display mode these days. It definitely gives people a space to, you know, they were vibing. It was cool. You know, 4 people would go up. Each person picks a song. It ends up being about 15 minutes or so, maybe 20 at tops. You technically could do like an hour, but that's kind of jerk mode. But people were really having a good time with that rock band event, and I do miss it. It's been gone for a couple years now. I ended up doing Portland Retro Gamers the last couple of years, so some of you may have seen me there at Pat Contry's booth. I've split the booth with him now 2 years. This year we're doing me, him, and Dream Quest games. It'll be cool to see. Like, I do want to eventually transition from vending to bringing the Rock Band cabinet to these conventions and booking that instead. That sounds like a lot of fun, just bringing the rock and roll and just having these big parties every day. You know, because I did take that Terminator 2 cabinet and do all that cool stuff to it for a reason. And now I have a space to finally work on it. You know, this new house we've had for a couple of years now, 3 years now, going on 4. It's helping. The decluttering helps. That's the long story about that. But definitely I want this thing to just be kind of a channel where we get to shoot the breeze, hang out, because you don't need to actually smoke on your smoke break. I think there might be, I will eventually address this later. I think people need to understand what a smoke break truly is. When I worked at Starbucks around 2001, I'd moved to Seattle. I noticed like 2/3 to 3/4 of my coworkers smoked cigarettes. I didn't. So I would just go outside with my Game Boy Advance and just fart around for 5-10 minutes, and I'd get in trouble. Hey, you can't be doing nothing, and you got to get back to work. You're not on a break. And I'd be like, well, every other coworker has done this today. Why can't I just fart around in 5 minutes, 10 minutes like they do? And so I just started pretending like I was smoking with nothing. They're like, you're crazy. And I'm like, no, they get to do it. Why can't we? So I've always kind of taken a smoke break as just that 5 to 10 minutes for yourself. Just something that you're not doing things that matter for, you know what I'm saying? You're not, when you're on a job, I always notice this, like when I go like to the Microsoft campus to do some testing, all the people there would be on their lunch breaks, and they're all, so did you hear, like, I think in the Q1, synergy, blah, 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 and you're like, you're on lunch. Do anything but talk about the work you just did. Take some time to yourself, and that is ultimately what the smoke break is. Take some time to yourself, and if you're going to take some time, take it with me. I just plan on doing these kind of casual, off-the-cuff, I might have a friend with me sitting here like, hey, remember when you bought me this CD? Oh my God, I remember. 2-3 minutes later, that's the video. That's what I want to do with this platform, ultimately. Because I don't want copyright claims. I'd love to bring back trivia, but because that uses audio video clips that I would use in a bar, there's no way I can do that here on YouTube without getting the stream instantly demonetized or copyright claimed. So it's just easier to just do this casual off the cuff thing. And I think that's with this day and age of just rapid fire ads. And what is with you young people doing these, hang on, he breathed, and you cut it, and you cut it, and you cut it, and it sounds really strange, just so you know. I mean, I have a background in radio. I do have a background in radio, but I never pursued it as a professional career. But using the techniques I did learn in the school, that's how I was able to produce this stuff throughout the years, and I definitely feel it worked for me throughout the years. So yeah, I'm looking forward to producing more stuff for you. Oh, I just hit 10 minutes. Yay. This was not intended to be this long, but 20 years of YouTube. How in the hell? I was 29 when the platform started. I'm 49 now. In 20 more years, I'll be 69. Nice. It's a trip. It doesn't feel like it breezes by, people. Like I said in Jacob's video, 8-bit joystick, learn to age with grace and the rest falls into place. And that is some real advice I've had to adhere to myself, and it definitely does help. The other things don't help, like my new hobbies of, mycology and whatnot. Let's just leave it at that. I'm a self-medicating mycologist. All 5 of you who see this, thanks again for taking your smoke break with me. I'm going to wrap this up. But yeah, 20 years of YouTube. And I never treated it like they do now with the like, subscribe. I don't ever plan on saying that, except for like what you just heard. I don't want to end all my videos like and subscribe. The little icon goes bing. No, that's you've also probably been on this as long as I have. You kind of understand how YouTube works at this point, and I feel like that just is condescending to the viewer, in my opinion. And if I'm gonna coddle to that kind of denominator, I'm not really trying to. That's not who I'm trying to attract. I just want to have a nice casual unk sesh with you. You know what I mean? Just shoot the breeze about shit. Whether I'm right or wrong, I'm trying to be correct. I'm trying to be factually accurate. I'm not trying. If I say anything in the future videos where I'm like, "Oop, I was off a year," who cares? It's really just about like those off-the-cuff conversations that are unedited that we have with our friends every day. And that's what this is going to start becoming for the next few years. That's the goal. And having this new little laptop thing really helps. I am missing having the old Rock Band mic. Yeah, yeah, this thing and I have had a lot of mileage, haven't we? But yeah, thanks again for 20 years. I do miss being monetized for a minute. Oh yeah, my first video. I should mention this before I go. I do have it on Facebook. They haven't pulled it, but I do have my first video that ever. Oh, there we go. That first video that ever went like viral for me. This is before there was money on YouTube. Was a video called Japanese Fart Balloon that had 500,000 views before it got pulled. This is when copyright claims started becoming a thing, and there was like, nah, you can't even put this up. And it was a guy who basically, they talked to him and interviewed him, and they put the microphone to his ass, and he like sings like a children's song with his ass, like a, like row, row, row your boat kind of a thing. And then they have a blue balloon on the other side of the wall. On the other side of the room, the guy gets on his back and just goes, pops the balloon from like 15, 20 feet away. I'm 90% certain the guys from Jackass saw that. Like, they recreated the stunt in Jackass 3, and I was like, there's no way they weren't one of the 500,000 views. And if they were, thank you for keeping that going. I think that's really cool that the world got to see the Japanese fart balloon, even if it was done by Jackass. So yeah, we'll be having another talk. We'll have another talk later, man. I'm gonna go celebrate 20 years today by having myself an all-day smoke break. So you guys stay awesome, and I'll catch you on the next time we have our little session. So be well until that time. Bye, guys.